Alright, hey everyone, February 6th, got a letter from Schaeffer Cox, written on January 27th, 2017. Let's read it together. Dear Rudy, let me start this letter by saying that the government's official position is that they do not torture their prisoners. I'm not free to take a position contrary to their official one, so I won't. But I can tell you what I know about torture and why I'm against it. The first fallacy that needs debunked is this idea that by torturing people, interrogators can get them to give up secrets or other useful information. That's just not how it works. When you are being tortured, the only way out is to tell the interrogators that they want to. The only way out is to tell the interrogators what they want to hear. If they're torturing you, you can be sure they already have a theory in mind. They just need you to validate it. So telling the truth gets you nowhere. In fact, the truth will only get you more torture if it contradicts the proposed facts that the interrogators want to prove by your confession. An intelligence or investigative agency that actually does the tedious hard work of collecting information, vetting facts, and ruling out unsupportable conclusions will already know what's going on in their areas of interest. They will have proven facts and reliable information in hand as the fruits of their labor, so they will not need tortured confessions to support their case. They will have real-life facts that objectively exist, and those facts, not the politically expedient needs of the day, will dictate what conclusions they adopt. If, on the other hand, the police state intelligence community is full of political hacks who like being privileged bullies and who tend to avoid doing hard work, they will not have gathered a lot of facts. They were too preoccupied by their own parasitic, self-indulgent life of ease to care. They want a free ride, not homework. They're not excited about rolling up their sleeves and sifting through mountains of information and then slowly and objectively arriving at conclusions that will probably work against their personal financial interest and or undermine their own sham industry. By and large, the guys who join the intelligence agencies don't do it because they want to knuckle down and study hard. They do it because they want to be above the law. They want to run the police state, not be run over by it. They want fat salaries, millions in grant money for toys, free travel, and an expense account that no one ever checks. They want a security clearance that makes them one of the bona fide elites. They want a free pair of Oakleys and everyone to celebrate them like the hero cops from network TV cop dramas. They want people to jump when they say boo. In short, they aren't fighting a battle to defeat an enemy. They're running a racket to milk the government. The moochers and con artists in the police state intelligence community create enormous make-believe dangers to justify all the power, money, and secrecy they give to themselves. But the are not organic dangers. But these are not organic dangers. They're all manufactured synthetic threats. It's all false flags run by the FBI. It's ISIS that's funded and directed by the State Department. It's nut job wind-up toys who are put up to terror attacks by their DEA handlers. It's the globalists using the CIA, FBI, and Saudi government to do the controlled demolitions of 9/11. The war on terror is just security theater to shake down the people and get them to go along with the slave program the elites have for us. The intelligence community resorts to torture when there are no facts at all to support the false propaganda that they have put out to justify the creation of their phony security state industry. Torture works great if you're trying to get false confessions that support your lies, while helping you avoid the truth that would expose your scams and incriminate you. But that's about it. The intelligence community has no information of their own because they're too lazy to go get it. They have no information from other people because they've burned and double-crossed everyone they've worked with. So now nobody trusts them, and they don't care because they don't want the truth. After the 9/11 coup, there was an avalanche of money made available to jumpstart the secret police. All they had to do to get it was to tell a spooky story, or better yet, put on 100% made up, theatrically dazzling sting operation. The money ruined them. The intelligence community went from being investigators to being grant writers. They'd write their own investigations following the preset formula that gets the most money. They went from being crime fighters to being false flag Broadway actors. The agents turned into press whore street performers, working for million-dollar tips from Homeland Security. All real law enforcement fell by the wayside. Reality rivaled the racket, so reality was thrown out too. The world of make-believe was where the money was at, so that's where everyone went. But no matter how many federales and talking heads pile onto the fantasy, it's still imaginary. And imaginary things don't have facts to support them. But the intelligence community is in so deep to their propaganda delusions that they cannot let it go. They cannot admit that it's all lies. So they torture people to make them confess that it's all true. Torture is a satanic ritual that worships deceit by breaking people's will and forcing them to bow the knee to a lie. It is the propagandist tool of last resort as they strive to overrule reality. Where it is employed, rest assured, the truth is not welcome. Torture fails in its practical application. I will drop this letter in the mail now, so it will go out today. In my next letter, I'll explain how torture affects the humanity of both the one being tortured and the one doing the torturing. Surprisingly, the one doing the torturing suffers the deeper form of trauma and often breaks before the prisoner they are trying to break. It has to do with voluntary versus involuntary participation in the event. Schaeffer Cox.